Record of Ragnarok, or Shumatsu No Valkyrie, is a monthly seinen battle manga that is constantly evolving into one of my favorite series of all time. For those that don't know, Shumatsu No Valkyrie, it's a battle tournament manga between gods and humans. The tournament itself is called Record of Ragnarok. It's a series of 1 versus 1 matchups. If at the end of the tournaments the humans have more wins than the gods, they can live for another 1,000 years until the next Judgment Day. If they lose, then the gods will wipe them out. Human heroes will face off against gods from many mythologies. Gods who have fought so far are Thor, Zeus, Poseidon, and Heracles, with the humans taking place in the tournament being Jack the Ripper, Kojiro, Lubu, and Adam, the Father of Man, with other heroes and gods coming up being Simo Haya, Nikola Tesla, Ares, Odin, Shiva, and many, many more. Now you might be wondering, how are these human heroes standing up to face against the gods? Well, that's something I have explained so far in the other video I've done on this, and mainly it's the fact that these aren't just regular humans. For example, Lubu, one of the human heroes, they seem to take more of a mythology basis on these human heroes where they are superhuman already. For example, Lubu in his past was so strong when he swung his sword, it split the clouds in the sky. Adam, before getting amped, was able to take out basically demons. So, yeah, these humans aren't just human, but then you add in the Volund. Now, in this series, there are the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie, like the humans, they don't want the humans to be wiped out. So, they do a process called Volund, where a Valkyrie basically soul bonds with one of the humans. The Valkyrie turns into a weapon. This becomes a divine weapon, which is the only way to really actually kill a god. And not only does this make the person wielding it have a divine weapon, but it amps all of their physical abilities while they're wielding the weapon. So that is how they even the playing field between these humans, these human heroes, and the gods. Now overall, my favorite fight so far was Adam versus Zeus, but the current fight, it's really making the case for it being the best fight in the series so far. And in my opinion, one of the best fights of all time in manga. And this fight is the god Heracles, the god of justice, versus Jack the Ripper, the personification of evil. Now, first off, before this fight even began, it was already divisive for the fan base. In the first 3 fights, it was generally overconfident, rude, and cocky gods versus the good human heroes of our world. In my opinion, it was a great choice for it to be done this way, because it changes up the series and subverts expectations, as up until this fight announcement, it felt like in every fight the audience was supposed to root for the humans against the gods. But this is the first fight that really makes you question if you should really root for the humans, as Heracles is actually a human born, but ascended to godhood because of his great deeds. And he's different from the rest of the gods. He's the protector and servant of humanity. He loves humanity, and he's even protected humans from other gods in the past. This severely set him apart from the other overconfident, cocky, and somewhat evil gods, especially Poseidon and somewhat Zeus, as Zeus was about to just wipe out humanity in the beginning of the series. Now, Jack the Ripper also changes the way we think of humanity in this series. Jack the Ripper is a serial murderer who terrorized the streets of London in Victorian times, which introduces a very interesting dilemma here and a really interesting dynamic. The humans need a win, but Jack the Ripper is a bad guy and deserves to have his existence erased, because if you lose the fight, you get your existence erased. But if he does defeat Heracles and humanity does get a win, he gets to keep existing, and then Heracles will be erased from existence, causing the gods to lose their best and brightest representative. This is amazing. So not only does Jack the Ripper get portrayed very well here, but he also gets to go against the perfect god for him. Heracles is pissed off for Jack's crimes and is brilliantly crafted that we are to root for Heracles against humanity, even though we're supposed to root for humanity, but they're having us root for a god instead. But then you kind of have to think, the gods are overall doing much worse, and you should root for humanity, root for the villain against the hero. Even the audience that are watching the tournament in the series are confused on who to root for, which is a good representation of what the readers actually feel like. The tournament field is changed into Victorian-era London style, with roads, city streets, buildings, and back alleys, and the fight starts off with Jack running away. Off the bat, it is revealed that one of Jack's traits and advantages in the fight is to be a trickster, and to be sly and more cunning than Heracles, as he tricks Heracles into believing that his giant scissors were his Volund, when in reality, they were just a random weapon. He also launched a bunch of knives at Heracles. These were mortal knives, so Heracles tanked them. But this led right into Jack's traps. With Jack's supposed scissor Volund destroyed and his knives doing nothing, Heracles didn't even attempt to dodge or parry the knives that were thrown at him next, but they sliced through his skin and damaged him, because in reality, these knives were from his Volund. His Volund being a magical pouch that makes weapons. That is until it's revealed that it isn't even his Volund. His Volund is actually his gloves that magically turns anything he touches into a divine weapon. So this just shows how sneaky, smart, and confident Jack is. He starts off with the scissors, saying that's his Volund. Then he says it's the bag. But no, in reality it's his gloves. So he turns anything that he touches into a divine weapon, which is how he turns the giant clock tower into a weapon and is able to slice off Heracles' arm. The battle is getting very intense, with Heracles' arm being cut off, and even though it is a seemingly grim future for Heracles, he's still very confident, and Jack's very confident as well. Now, Jack's origins are a very dark path, though, and this is where, this is what the series is doing great, and why I think Jack the Ripper was done right here. I would argue that Jack the Ripper in Record of Ragnarok is better than Jack the Ripper in Black Clover, although it's not really that fair of a comparison, because Jack the Ripper in Black Clover, he's not supposed to be really that much of a representative of the real-life Jack the Ripper, whereas this one is. Now, Jack's life was a rough one, growing up in the streets of London, a very, very poor boy, whose mother made her living as a whore. Now, Jack had a special eye that let him see the auras of other people and how they truly were. He basically read people's emotions as color, and that was their aura. He sees his mother's aura as the most beautiful in the entire world. Then, he would find out that his mom had gotten pregnant a few other times before him from other clients, but the others were aborted, and he always wondered why she kept him. Little Jack would find out that he was simply just a meal ticket for his mother. He was the son of a famous writer, and she wanted to keep him so that she could marry him and become wealthy. But one day, the man would get married to another woman, causing Jack's mother to go into a frenzy. She said how she regretted keeping Jack around and wished she had just killed him with a coat hanger. Jack was very confused within his own emotions, and the emotions he was seeing from his mother and her aura caused him to lead to kill his own mother and disband her from her grief. But this would only let Jack see the most beautiful color in the universe, the color of death. Jack then went and tracked down his father and killed him too. This caused to Jack's love affair with killing itself, as he would see this euphoric display of colors, the color of death's aura. And this is a great origin for Jack the Ripper, because you can really feel for the kid here. Lived a very poor life, got beat up, his mother was a whore, and then he finds out his mother kept him because just as a meal ticket. And she then says to him, I wish I would have killed you with a coat hanger instead. Then kills his mother, kills his father, then pretty much gets addicted to killing afterwards. And that is why, Jack the Ripper became Jack the Ripper. I think that was a great origin, and why he can see with his eye, see those weird colors, see in people's auras. He can see Heracles' colors, and he's getting really high off of seeing that, and he really wants to kill Heracles. Probably will get the greatest euphoric feeling ever to see the death of a god. But yeah, overall the fight is going crazy right now. Basically, Heracles has these tattoos when he uses the powers, and they completely mess him up. Basically, I believe it said, an inch of this tattoo would be agonizing for any god. And these tattoos are just completely covering Heracles' body, and one of his arms has been sliced off, and he just basically cut off the blood flow so that it doesn't bleed out. But yeah, Heracles is really beaten up, but he's still super confident. Jack the Ripper is super confident that he's going to win. And so yeah, this fight isn't even over yet, but it's so exciting. I'm so ready for the next chapter. And so yeah, guys, just wanted to put that out there. You guys should definitely read Record of Ragnarok. Go find it. I read it on Magnarok or Manga Rock. But guys, it is so good. Jack the Ripper is great. Every single fight so far has been absolutely fantastic, and this is really shaping to be the best one, and there's still going to be several more left to go, which is really exciting, and, you know, it's going to be out for a while, because this is a monthly series. Each fight is several chapters, so, you know, it's going to be years until it's done. If this show gets an anime, that is going to be a wrap for so many. Like, I am going to love this anime. It's going to be absolutely insane. I can't even imagine. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're reading it, do you like the fight so far? Do you like Jack the Ripper? Do you like Heracles? Honestly, so far, even though I'm a huge Norse fan, I might have to say that Heracles is my favorite god so far, and that Jack the Ripper might be my favorite human. Not because I like him, but I like the way he's being portrayed, as, you know, they built up how he became Jack the Ripper. I love his cunning, his trickery. He's already tricked Heracles and the entire crowd like 3 times, so that's why I really like him. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. But you guys have an amazing day. Plus...